Servus and welcome everyone. Today I want to give you a quick introduction to the beloved game of Schafkopf, a traditional Bavarian cards game. All you need is actually just having a deck of cards like this one. Maybe you want to grab a notebook and something to write to take quick notes, and probably some beverage, like, well, you might know what this Bavarian mug is for. So let's dive in. So how do we get going playing Schafkopf? What do you need? Actually, all you need is a deck of playing cards in the Bavarian style. So a Bavarian playing cards deck consists of 4 typical suits, which is acorns, leaves, hearts and bells. And within any given suit, so for acorns, hearts and bells is the same, but I guide you through in leaves here. There is an ace, a 10, a king, an Ober, an Unter, a 9, a 8 and a 7. And these are all the playing cards within a Bavarian deck, so it's a total of 32. What else do you actually need to play Schafkopf? Well, you gotta bring your friends. So here they are, and you need a table to play cards, of course. So if you have a square table like this, you typically sit around the table on each side of the table. So there's 4 players, each facing on different sides. And if you don't happen to have a square table, well, you can have a long table, and then you align players on the table like this. The most important thing is people should not be able to look into each other's hands cards. So you have to cover your hand, and the yellow player, for example, might not be able to look into the blue player's cards, as well as in the reds or greens. So they only see their respective cards. That's just about it. So a deck of cards is what you need, 4 people, and a table where you can play. So imagine you already have a table, your friends and a deck of cards. So what's the actual goal of playing Schafkopf? Well, the game consists of play rounds, and each play round consists of trick rounds. So the goal for a given play round is to accumulate as a team or a solo player a total of at least 61 points. So how do you actually accumulate points? There are my game playing cards. For example, in this, it's the suits of heart. And here you have the ace, the 10, the king, the Ober and the Unter, and they all have respective point values. So for the ace, it's 11 points, the 10 has 10 points, the king has 4 points, the Ober 3, and the Unter 2. 9, 8 and 7 all have 0 points, so they don't contribute. With these 11, 10, 4, 3 and 2, they add up to 30, and since you got 4 suits, they add up to a total of 120. So your goal as a playing party is to get at least more than half of it. So if you get 61 points in your play round, you win the game. And if you are not the playing party and the opposite party, the opposing party, then you already win if you have 60 or more points. That's just about it. So how does the typical game round work? Well, there are 3 steps to a game round. Or if you like, you can have 3 or 3, whatever you take to point numbers. So the thing is, the first thing which happens is you have to have one which is on position 1 at each game round. And this position 1 is rotating clockwise, so it's shifting after every game round. So if this is position 1, then this guy is the dealer. So he's to the right hand side of position 1. And what this player does is he gives the deck a thorough shuffle. So typically in Bavaria you take this overhand shuffle. You don't like to do riffle shuffles or to put the cards together like this. This is not what you do. So it's always an overhand shuffle like this. So once this player gave a thorough overhand shuffle, he's handing the deck over to the player to his right hand side, and this player cuts the deck. And once the deck is cut, it's returned to the player given the cards, so the dealer, and he's handing out 4 cards to each of the players in clockwise order. So this player is getting 4 cards, then the opposite one, the one to the right, then himself, and then this procedure is repeated until all the cards are handed out, so it's the same order. And once this is done, every player has a total of 8 cards in hand. So this is the first phase of the game round. It's shuffling, cutting and handing out the cards. So once the cards are dealt out and each and every one of the players has 8 cards in hand, it's about to decide on the game mode. So starting with the first player, here on position 1, he or she has to decide whether or not they want to play and announce a game mode. If they want to announce one, they just say they want to announce a play. If they don't want, they say they want to pass and hand over to the next one, so player 2 here. Then this player has to decide. After that, this player has to decide. And finally, the player who dealt out the cards, the dealer, has to decide. In the end, after each and every player has decided whether they want to announce a play or not, it is decided what play mode is played in this round. And there are 3 play modes. The first one is a partners game. It's called Rufspiel in Germany. The second one is called Events. It's a game where you play solo against 3 others, but with restricted trump cards. And the third one is called a solo. It's also a 1 versus 3 game mode, but in this phase you have really a lot of trump cards available to you. So these are the 3 game modes. The highest one is of course the solo, which is the most difficult to play. The second one is the Events. And the third one is the partners game, the Rufspiel. And whatever game mode you decide to play, if another player on the table announces a higher play mode, this play mode is played in the end. So imagine this one says he wants to play, and he says, well, I have a partners game, and no one else on the table says they want to play a game. Then this partners game is announced, and this is the game mode given for this game round. That's just how it works. Once the game mode is announced, then each game is played in 8 trick rounds, because you have 8 cards in hand, and with every trick round you have to play one of your hand cards. But how to actually play them? Well, depending on the game mode, your cards have different orders. And these are not too complicated, but I won't introduce them in this video. However, there are 2 very important rules when playing Schafkopf. So the first rule is, if you have a suit played out, you have to follow the suit. So give an example. This player is starting with bells, then the player on top has to play bells, the player on the right has to play bells, and we as the last player have to play bells as well. And since this trick is only having bell cards, the highest one in the trick wins, which is the ace. So first rule is, if you have a suit and you can play it, you have to play it. It's forced. So this trick goes to the one with the highest card, and then he opens up the next trick round. And now he's playing a trump card. And with a trump card, you also have to play a trump card. You're forced to do so. So let's play another round. And for a partners game like this, trump cards are the Obers, the Unters, and the heart cards. So cards in the suit of heart. So we can also play something like this. And here the Ober in acorns is the highest card. So this player takes the trick. And finally, so there's another trick opened up with another suit which wasn't played before. This time is acorns. And then the player also have to play suit. However, this time we don't have a suit card. So what can we do? Well, if we don't have a suit card, we are free to play whatever card we like to play, with some exceptions, but those are not necessary yet. So I can either play another suit card, like leaves in this case, and pass it away, or I can play a trump card and win this trick, and now it would be mine. Aside from that player, well, let's see what there is. Well, there's the ace, and in this case, of course, the ace is the highest card in the suit of acorns. However, hearts is a trump card, and since hearts is a trump card, I win this trick. So, and in that fashion, you would play out all your 8 cards you have in hand, and after that, all the tricks are played out. And once all the tricks are played out, the players which have built a team during this match or during this game mode, they take their trick cards and they count points from all their tricks. So in this case, it would be 22. And you would count them out. And as I said in the start, once you have more than 61 points as a playing team or more than 60 points as the opposing team, you win the game. Well, and that's just about it. That's how you play Schafkopf. In future videos, I will tell you how these actual game modes look like, what cards are suit cards, what cards are trump cards, and we will have a closer look at the strategies and the tactical levels of Schafkopf. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you want to learn more about Schafkopf, please give me a thumbs up and write in the comments what you would be interested in.